Good morning, everyone. God has given us a new day. We will help each other to enjoy it. So it's Monday morning and it's the last week before the Easter holidays. And I know things are a little bit strange because we're not all sitting together in the hall, but hopefully you've all just done your written task and you've just all listened to the same song from Out of the Ark, and now at 10:10 we're all gathered together for our assembly. Even though we're in different rooms, we're all together in a different way. Do you remember the Acts of Lent? We had a very busy prayer area, didn't we? You went and you looked at the Act of Lent for the day. You went off to do it. Sometimes it was saying thank you, sometimes it was playing with a child from a different year group, or it was giving somebody a compliment, it was letting somebody go first in the line. They were all different acts of Lent. And then when you've done it, do you remember what you did? You came back to the prayer area and that's right, you drew those hearts, didn't you? And part of our acts of Lent were just to get us ready for Easter. Lent is a time when we prepare for Easter. We were thinking about the things that Jesus did, the things that Jesus said, the people he spent time with when he was here on earth. Do you remember that he spent a lot of time with people who'd made mistakes? People who weren't very popular. And Jesus showed us that God loves everyone, not just a special group. Now, if we were all together in our school hall today, I'd be telling you about our palm service at the church. If you're in year 1 and year 2, you know about it, don't you? Tell your parent, or maybe your little brother and sister, about it, and I'll just wait. If you're in reception, then maybe you've never seen it before. We'll do it next year. Normally, we'd meet at the church and we'd follow some donkeys around the church garden, wouldn't we? And we'd all have our palm cross. We can't do that this year, but tomorrow will be Easter Pause Day for you, and I know that you will find a very special way to mark the day. Send me a picture of what you've done and I'll put it on our website for your friends to see. Every year for our palm service, I read the story of the Great Parade. That's what it's called in the Line Storyteller Bible that we have in our school hall. It's when Jesus rides into Jerusalem. Now, today, Oscar's going to read that to you. So he'll be here in just a second to read that story.
The Great Parade. Let's go to Jerusalem, said Jesus to his friends. I have something important to do there. So they went, and when they could just see the city from the nearby hillside, Jesus said, let's have a parade. Jesus' friends were surprised. A parade? They wondered. Why a parade? But no one said anything because Jesus was already busy giving instructions. I want the two of you to borrow a donkey, he said. Tell the owner I need it. He'll understand. When the two friends returned back with the donkey, Jesus hopped on its back, gently nudged its sides, and started down the hill. His friends followed close behind. Hooray for Jesus, they shouted. Jesus is king! Down, down, down they rode, towards the city gate. And the closer they got, the more people joined them. It's Jesus the teacher, somebody called. It's Jesus the healer, somebody else called. 3 cheers for Jesus! called one and all. Soon there were people everywhere, marching along with the parade and shouting from the roadside. Some took off their coats and laid them in front of the donkey. Others cut palm branches from the trees and waved them about. There were hundreds, maybe thousands, clapping their hands and dancing and shouting their way through the city gates. Everyone was happy. Well, almost. Some of the religious leaders didn't like Jesus, and when they saw the parade, they frowned. "Wait just a minute," they called. "You can't have a parade here. Tell your friends to be quiet, Jesus." But Jesus just laughed. "Tell them to be quiet? Impossible." Then he turned to look at the crowd. "Can't you see?" he said. "There's so much happiness here that even if I could make the people quiet, the stones in the street would jump and shout for joy."
Thank you, Oscar. We're going to finish with a prayer, but then after that, I'm going to tell you about something else that is going to happen this week. But for now, just make yourself very quiet and still. Hold my hand, God, lead the way. Help me to be good every day. Let me know what's wrong and right. Keep me safe day and night. Amen. Now, I have been doing some learning myself this weekend. I've learnt how to use an app called Zoom, and maybe you have got that app as well. If you haven't, and your mum or your dad have an iPhone or an iPad or another kind of smartphone, see if you can go to the App Store and get the Zoom app. Because one day this week I'm going to do a story for your year group, and I'll send an email out to your mum and your dad so that they know about it. But there will be a story, not just like this on YouTube, but on Zoom, where you can be part of it as well. It will just be like our normal story time. Reception, you know that we have it after clubs, don't we, on a Wednesday afternoon? You go and you do your club, then you line up in class and you come into the hall and we have reception story time. It will just be like that. In year 1 and year 2s, we do it on a Friday lunchtime, don't we? Before you go and eat in the canteen. So there'll be more information coming your way, and we're going to try that. You won't be able to say anything when you first come in for story time. And that's normal, isn't it? Because when you come into the hall for story time, you don't say anything. You just walk in quietly. So that's how it will start. And then I'll see if I can read a little bit while you listen. And I'll probably be able to watch you at home as well if you turn your camera on. You don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want to, if you feel a bit weird doing Zoom. I will probably ask at least 1 or 2 questions about the story, and we'll see if we can manage to listen to somebody else in your year group answer a question. Who knows how it will go? You're learning at home, and I've been learning to do something new as well. So I will see you again later in this week for a story. Have a good day for now.